Ulster in crisis, coach feels pressure. Those are the sort of headlines that have hit the newspapers around Belfast in recent weeks. Ulster have won just 8 of their last 24 games and lie bottom of the Celtic League. Gloucester may be top of the Guinness Premiership, but they are a little vulnerable right now, perhaps, without a win in 3 games. So who will unearth the Oompa in Northern Ireland as this magnificent competition begins? To the teams, Ulster first. On the all-international front row, Brian Young continues in his less preferred position of tight head with experienced veteran Justin Fitzpatrick at loose head. Rory Best is the captain. In the second row, new signing Italian international Carlo Del Fava is partnered by Australian hardman and serial ear-bender Justin Harrison. Due to knee problems, there's a bit of a reshuffle in the back row. Matt McCulloch wears 6, though he's more used to the second row. Neil Best is fit and feisty, but Roger Wilson comes in at number 8 for the Croc Stephen Ferris, who is out for 6 weeks. It's all international at halfback. Isaac Boss will bustle at 9, and Paddy Wallace, seriously lacking game time, starts at 10. David Humphreys failed a fitness test this morning on a damaged ankle, but has hobbled his way onto the bench. The midfield pairing is Andrew Trimble, who played twice on the wing at the World Cup, and despite a twisted knee, another new signing, Scottish international Rob Dewey, plays. Tommy Bowie featured in the 13 shirt while Trimble was in France, is back in his rightful right-wing role, and wearing 11 is the young Irish Schools international Mark McRae. The rock-solid Bryn Cunningham is the fullback. Well, now the Cherry and Whites, built, crafted and revitalised by Dean Ryan. The Gloucester side looks like this. The props are Italian international Carlos Nieto and England Saxon Nick Wood. The grizzled French international Olivier Azam is the hooker. In the second row, Peter Buxton, a frequent member of the back row, of course, captains the side alongside England cap Alex Brown. Marco Bortolami is on the bench. It's an interesting back row combination. Scottish international Alistair Strokoch is 6, and the exceptional Fijian Akapusi Quera, the open side, Luke Narroway, is the number 8. The half-backs are Rory Lawson, a member of Scotland's World Cup squad, and at 10, the exciting potential of 21-year-old Ryan Lamb. Another 21-year-old, Anthony Allen, who scored 4 tries in Europe last season, partners the World Cup winner Mike Tyndall, MBE. Now, brace yourselves, the volcano is back. Leslie Vinocola, the rugby league legend, is now over his neck injury and ready to do a Krakatoa on Ulster. The whippet himself, James Simpson-Daniel, is in the 14 jersey, and another World Cup winner, Ian Balshaw, is the fullback. Well, Gloucester's bench is riddled with class. Christian Califano, Marco Bortolami, Chris Patterson, enough said. Kieran Dawson was stretchered off last week with a knee injury, but is fit enough for the bench just about. Humphreys is in a similar situation, while the pugnacious Ryan Caldwell will be just desperate to get on. Well, this time last year, Toulouse arrived for the opening game in the Heineken Cup, and Ulster played fabulous rugby and led by 30 at half-time. A year on, and it's disarray in Belfast. Will Greenwood, an English side, has never won at Ravenhill in Europe. Will there be a better opportunity?
Well, as we see Buxton leading out, the hard-nosed front 5, Gloucester and Dean Ryan are assembling a very, very powerful squad who you feel might be ready now to take a step up and become serious European contenders. While across the pond, Irish rugby, as you alluded to, has issues with self-belief right now, and the next 24 hours will tell us exactly how the players feel.
Well, there's Peter Buxton, a natural leader, would you say?
Very much so, and in a very, very hard front 5 with that man Akapusi Quera, who had such an amazing World Cup with Fiji, and behind the backs, Tyndall, the experience, the leadership that he'll bring to the likes of Allen and Lamb.
And Simpson-Daniel on the wing opposite Vinocola. Well, he can certainly add the finishing touch. He's got real pace. Here comes Rory Best, whose brother Simon is still recovering from a heart problem suffered at the World Cup, and a huge test for this Ulster side tonight, Will, considering the fact that they are carrying a few injuries.
The spine of the team must perform for them this evening. Rory Best in the front row, Harrison in the second row, Best in the back row, and Boss, Wallace and Trimble. They are their senior players. They must step up, they must fill the team with self-belief, and the rest must simply enjoy the ride on a Friday night in Ravenhill.
Well, Andrew Trimble has shown real hunger in the Ulster jersey this season. He's been the pick of the back line, perhaps, so far. Great to see such a huge crowd here tonight. It's estimated to be around 13,500, which is very close to a record for this stadium. And the referee is from Wales, and it's Nigel Owens who handled Leicester against Cardiff last week in the Anglo-Welsh Cup. And there he is, the volcano. Who can stop him tonight? 5 tries on his debut, remember, against Leeds for Gloucester before he suffered that neck injury. Well, since the Heineken Cup defeat against London Irish in Reading last season, Ulster's pilot light has merely flickered. That match got serious hype in these parts. Ulster failed. It seemed to set the downward spiral in motion, and the Ravenhill factor has subsequently been seriously diluted. Well, can Gloucester capitalise on Ulster's current demise? That is the question here. They certainly have the players. Can the Cherry and Whites make an early Anglo impact on this pool? Mike Tindall, who collects the ball back from that broken leg. And Rory Lawson, who was behind Mike Blair and Chris Cussiter in the World Cup. Chips towards Bryn Cunningham, but it's taken by Tommy Bowe, coming back. And Justin Harrison waits. There's Isaac Boss, also a member of the Irish World Cup squad. Spent most of the time on the bench. And Boss outside the 22. And the ball bouncing dangerously there for Gloucester, but tapped back well by Peter Buxton, the captain. And across goes Mark McRae, inexperienced Irish Schools international. Big night for him, his first Heineken Cup game, and finds a decent touch.
Some nice touches all around. Great box kick from Boss, bouncing, but interesting opening to the game. Make a strength a weakness. What does Wallace do from the restart? Vinacolo, he's not used to Ravenhill. Let's just kick it to his side. And who comes from the back? Bolshaw, showing a bit of his World Cup form, coming into the rescue.
149 tries in his rugby league career, and 5 in just the one game for Gloucester in rugby union. Olivier Azam, 10 caps for France. Alex Brown, a big man there in the second row, takes the ball, number 5, and Rory Lawson was absolutely dumped hard there by his opposite number, Isaac Boss. That was physical. Carlos Nieto, the Italian international, picked recently in Nick Mallett's new Italian squad for the Six Nations. Can Gloucester assert themselves up front in this game and get that go-forward ball? Ulster low on confidence this season so far. They've only scored 5 tries in their 6 games. Ulster, they've been failing to penetrate. And here's Rory Lawson, who gets it to Ryan Lamb. And Ryan Lamb, a tester from McRae, but Bryn Cunningham called for that and called for it very clearly, and he was in sharply and took it very well. Justin Harrison to Roger Wilson, the big ball carrier in this Ulster side, has been for many seasons. And a turnover ball, and it's Mike Tindall. Now, can they use this turnover ball effectively? Tindall chips it in behind Tommy Bowe, the experienced right winger, back to Bryn Cunningham. So Ulster under pressure there.
The strength, the sheer upper body strength of Mike Tindall. The tackle was made, he got his hands on the ball, ripped it away, but that's what you need from your fullback. The experience of Bryn Cunningham takes it well. Watch Tindall, look at him. Look at it, on his feet. Exactly what O'Driscoll and Darcy do so well. Runs away, good kick, pressure on the kicker. It gives Gloucester a real chance now.
He showed fantastic power there, did Mike Tindall. That's why he's such a strong addition to this Cherry and White side, back into the team. Olivier Azam, and it goes to the front this time. It's a clever move involving Peter Buxton, but Ulster very alert defensively there and driving Buxton quickly into touch.
That's how they've started, Ulster. They've defended well, haven't they? Everyone, big tackles. They must start well. When you're playing badly, how do you get confidence? By defending well.
Now Rory Best, the Ulster line-out has not functioned consistently this season. A lot of overthrows. Will they simplify things this evening? Good take there by big Carlo Del Fava. Played against Scotland in the World Cup and played effectively too, back after a knee injury that originally excluded him from the Italian squad. He's a muscular individual, and Ulster getting the penalty here. Nigel Owens was pointing there at Olivier Azam for not staying on his feet. 2 caps in France, but 23 in all for his country. Born in South Africa and recommended to Ulster by the former Ulster and Springbok prop, Robbie Kempson.
Yeah, Azam not afraid of giving a penalty away. Dean Ryan's worked hard on his discipline. He seems to have got hold of it there early on. We've got Ulster in the corner. Keep the pressure on.
Mark McCall, the Ulster coach, who's under some pressure at the moment, 13 times capped himself, but too many more defeats, and he could be on his way. That's what the papers and the media have been saying in the build-up to this game. So Rory Best, can he find his man again? A bit of chopping and changing there. It goes to Justin Harrison, the big Wallaby, and Isaac Boss in midfield. Paddy Wallace, a poor pass, it goes backwards. Andrew Trimble, strong and direct as always in the midfield for Ulster. And Isaac Boss was trapped there. The referee saying stay out. In goes Matt McCulloch, and it's Roger Wilson who looks to pick the ball up here, and he usually tries to dart down those narrow channels close to rucks and mauls. Neil Best coming in, not a natural open side. Eddie O'Sullivan tried to convert him to that position, wasn't a total success. And now it's Tommy Bowe coming in off the wing. Mark McRae finds Bryn Cunningham almost. Now it's Andrew Trimble and Rory Best in possession, very close to the touchline, but it's ruck ball here for Ulster, out to Neil Best, another of the ball carriers on the back row for Ulster. Isaac Boss gets it to Rob Dewey, and that kick is charged down. Dewey really struggling with a knee injury in the last few games, but just about staying fit enough to play. Now will Gloucester attack from deep. Bolshaw gets it inside, bit of space here, chance to run, and it's Buxton on the ball. Rory Lawson waits. There was good dynamism there from Gloucester from deep inside their own territory, and Wood gets the ball out wide to Strokoch, and now Mike Tyndall looks re-energised as Tyndall so far in this game. Here's Rory Lawson, and Lamb just pops the ball off. That's superb, and it's Quera so quick, the Fijian, and the sidestep, superb stuff. Sevens rugby from the Fijian. Now great position here for the Cherry and Whites, a marvellous opportunity for Vinacola, and the Volcano gets his hands on the ball. 5 tries in game 1, out with a neck injury, and a try after 6 minutes against Ulster. This man is simply deadly, but so well crafted.
So well crafted. Ryan Lamb take a bow. It started from deep. Bolshaw did well. Back inside. They went the length. Justin Harrison tried to blitz it. Ryan Lamb held his time, held his pass, passed it on to Quera. Quera legged it through. Just simply brilliant. Here's the initial look at the delayed pass. Harrison flew. Quera, watch this step. Left, right, left. Put him on his backside almost. Kept on his feet. Ball recycled. Ryan Lamb, look at his vision. He sees the blitz, and Vinacola is like playing with Henry Paul at Bradford there. The ball goes in behind. He finishes those off for fun.
Well, we all know how dangerous those little chips are inside the 22. We saw Shane Geraghty do it twice for London Irish against Gloucester. The kick comes in from Lamb, but it's wide. It's 5 points to 0, but that run by Quera, it's no surprise here that more Fijian forwards scored tries in the World Cup than backs.
Oh, watch that delayed pass. Harrison came on the blitz, and he just waited. Quera gave him the call, and look at the pace and the knee lift and the pickup and the in and out. Brilliant footwork. And then Ryan Lamb steps up again, hasn't put a foot wrong, misses the conversion, but just delays the kick.
Very neat awareness there by Ryan Lamb, and now it's taken on by Luke Narroway. Rory Lawson pumps the ball high into this Belfast sky, and McRae is underneath it, takes it well, takes it bravely. Tackle from Alex Brown. And now it's Paddy Wallace. Wallace into midfield, and it's Tommy Bowe. So often finds himself popping up in those positions. Neil Best, crunching drive. The Sebastian Chabal of Ulster Rugby takes the ball into the 22. Isaac Boss gets it out. The Gloucester defence now looks pretty well organised, but Paddy Wallace, a good step from him. He's a tremendous runner with ball in hand. Again, it's Neil Best outside, but clumsy hands from Best, who is completely disgusted with himself. A fabulous position there for Ulster.
A brilliant comeback. Anthony Allen misses the tackle. Trimble goes through, or was it Bowe? So here it is. There's Wallace. There's the Anthony Allen missed tackle. The youngsters have to make those. Queera gets back. Best, boom! Sit down, young man. Off it goes, and then it comes back, and he spills it. What a chance for Ulster to get straight back in.
Neil Best taking out perhaps the smallest man on the pitch there, and Ryan Lamb, but it was a crunch. And again, Lamb and Tyndall in midfield, and Bolshaw with pace, and outside him Simpson Daniel to Bolshaw. It's great rugby here by Gloucester, and it's Mike Tyndall. Has he the pace to get there? Yes, he has. Nobody will catch Mike Tyndall. A second try for Gloucester. That was sizzling rugby from deep, from the cherry and whites. Absolutely top class, brilliant.
Whether you're Irish, Welsh, Scottish, Kiwi, that was fantastic. The midfield scrum, Ulster put pressure on them. They saw the opportunity. They took it on. Tyndall made the call. Best busy fighting with Queera. The missed pass caught narrow there in the midfield. Bolshaw. The key is here, the ball straight back to Bolshaw. Bolshaw should have been taken down. One hand, held it. Tyndall, has he got the pace? Shut the gate. He is home. What a try on opening night.
Well, we're already seeing the sort of rugby that the Heineken Cup is famous for across the globe. Two great scores for the Englishmen. Beaten here 14-12 when they last played 2 years ago. The conversion attempt is missed again, but it's 10 points to 0 to Gloucester, and they are rampant with ball in hand, Will Greenwood.
They certainly are. Bolshaw, when he passed to Simpson Daniel, should have been taken down. He shouldn't have been allowed to support again on the inside. But the handoff to Dewey stays on his feet. Tyndall, you just see a big lump. He's so much more than a big lump. He's brave, he works hard, and he has some genuine foot speed.
So Paddy Wallace to restart. Can Ulster recover? Ravenhill is hushed apart from the few Gloucester supporters. An error in handling there by the cherry and whites. But look at Rory Lawson using that lower body strength to drive on. Olivier Azam has it now, just outside the 22. And Queera and Nieto are there, and Lawson waits. And it's where Scotland really do have strength, with Mike Blair and Chris Cussiter and this man, Rory Lawson. And a little bit of a slice off the outside of the boot there of Ryan Lamb. And Ian Bolshaw, the former Lion, England international, rousing his troops around him. And they must be bubbling with confidence right now.
He's playing so well. Watch the ball here from Tyndall. He makes this pass here, hit him. He should have gone down. He shouldn't have been allowed to stay on his feet and support.
Well, Mark McRae was on the left wing there for Ulster. He hasn't played too many games at this level. Now Neil Best again and Roger Wilson. But look at the defence there by Gloucester, driving back the men in the white shirts, not letting them cross the gain line. Paddy Wallace looks for Bowe. If Idacola gets this, they would have been in all sorts of trouble. Play on, and it's Tommy Bowe. He can't handle from the pass from Bryn Cunningham. Well, that could have been 7 points either way. And a kick through from Ian Bolshaw. Back there is Mark McRae covering for Ulster, and thumps the ball to midfield. Not quite sure what he was doing there. Azam puts it into the corner for Simpson Daniel to chase. Daniel's so quick, it's Harrison who's back there. So important that Harrison got down on the ball, because Simpson Daniel was all over him. It's an amazing beginning here. Paddy Wallace inside the 22, looks for the sanctuary and safety of touch, if only for both sides, and Ulster especially, to get their breath.
Do not put the kettle on. Stay where you are. Vainikolo a little bit deep, but then it comes back. McRae, what was he doing there? Azam He drops the ball onto his right foot with a little spiral kick, and Justin Harrison, oh so important. Otherwise, 3-0 down early on. Could have been all over before it's begun.
Olivier Azam did a very good impression there of Juan Martin Hernandez, and Azam gets to Alex Brown, Rory Lawson. Good ball to midfield, and again, thumping ball carrying through the centre. Buxton makes it available for Lawson. And Gloucester again setting good platforms, crossing the gain line almost every time they get the ball to the big forwards in midfield. Slow ball this time though for Rory Lawson. Most of the backs moving to the right-hand side. Luke Narroway is in there with Buxton. Nick Wood, the loose head, not committing too many players there, Gloucester, you'll notice. And the ball is off the foot, not knocked forward. Now advantage white, and it's gathered by Carlo Del Fava for Ulster. And it's Isaac Boss who puts in the box kick, but it's straight down the throw to Ian Balshaw. No problems at all for the former England fullback. In comes Bryn Cunningham, but Justin Harrison takes the ball and feeds it on to Cunningham. He sees some space in behind the defence. Ryan Lamb covers across, and that hits the corner flag. Unlucky by Bryn Cunningham. So Ryan Lamb has an option, and he's going all the way back for the scrummage. Brian Redpath on the bench there beside Dean Ryan, Carl Hogg as well, and Dennis Betts. They've all made a big impact down there in the West Country. Well,
yeah, they're making the lads play with confidence, and no more so than Ryan Lamb. He's standing flat, and his scrum half, Rory Lawson, is just inviting him on with lovely passes, and they're coming onto it, onto the ball. Everyone's running forward onto it.
Rory Lawson feeds a good Gloucester scrummage, picked up by Luke Narroway. Again, he finds a gap in that channel, and that's maybe the problem, because McCulloch is not used to playing in the back row. He's a second row forward. Now Buxton takes it on. Here's Rory Lawson again into midfield, and it's Aquera. We saw that coruscating run from him a few moments ago, and he can carry the ball with strength as well. And now Mike Tyndall with Vinacola outside him. Vinacola just punches off Tommy Bowe, and Tommy Bowe is a big man, I can tell you. And that's how difficult Vinacola is to stop. Ryan Lamb, one step inside, looks for support, may not need it, and he gets there. Ryan Lamb scores a superb individual try, but really that was set up by the strength of the Volcano.
The combination of the Gloucester backs. Ryan Lamb doesn't care about Johnny Wilkinson, Charlie Hodgson, Shane Geraghty. He hasn't put a foot wrong. But as for Leslie Vinacola, Francis Barron, Rob Andrew, he's English. Pick up a phone, get him in the team.
Yes, English qualified. Vinacola might just be appearing in the Six Nations Championship quite shortly. Look at that, I mean, just thrashes his way through the Ulster defence, and they're big men that he's getting through, and sensational. Great feat.
It's the combination of the power of Vinacola and the wizardry and the ballet dancing of Ryan Lamb at fly half.
Hasn't been kicking too well so far, but this time he splits the post, and it's 17 points to nil to Gloucester. And it's a cataclysmic beginning for Ulster here, but you've got to give monstrous credit here to this Gloucester side, because they've played some sensational stuff.
It wasn't just the power. Did you see the offload there? As he was going to deck, just flicked it up off his right hand, kept the ball alive, which means Ulster can't reorganise. Move the point of contact.
What a fantastic take on the air by Alex Brown. Wonderful athleticism there. Reminiscent of the greats in that position. Ali Williams, Chris Jack, Victor Matfield, and now Rory Lawson. Didn't quite catch all of that one. And it's Ulster ball, taken by Neil Best, who sets the ball for Isaac Boss. A long way now for Ulster to work, to come back from. Paddy Wallace needs support, wasn't quite there. Eventually Rob Dewey arrives. Isaac Boss running very flat, almost running backwards there. Gets the ball to Neil Best, making it easier maybe for the Gloucester defence. Here's Isaac Boss to Rob Dewey, looks up, chip into the corner, drills one low and drills one into the in-goal area. It's all going horribly wrong for Ulster right now.
It's all about error counts. Watch this take from Alex Brown from the restart. Brilliant. Gloucester are making no errors, Ulster are making the errors, and that's been the difference.
Well, Alex Brown, 6'7", 3 caps for England, started both of the tests on the 2007 tour to South Africa. But so many of these Gloucester players looking like the real deal here tonight in Belfast. Can they sustain a Heineken Cup campaign? And look at that scrummage again, totally disrupting that Ulster 8. Well, they fractured them completely and they get the advantage. Rory Lawson and Lamb steps inside, and they're going to just play for the penalty here. It's Rory Best who's penalised, taken quickly by Rory Lawson. He does that well, and Azam is tackled. Lawson waits on the halfway line. End of the first quarter, and 3 tries already. Advantage there for the knock-on. It's Justin Fitzpatrick who takes the ball into contact. The Irish international loose head, the veteran. Now Rob Dewey, can he find a way through this defence? No, he can't. Again, it's rock solid. Isaac Boss. Ulster getting driven back all the time. On this occasion, it's Alexander Strokoch, the Scotsman. Then Isaac Boss gets hit hard as well. No, it's McCulloch, Matt McCulloch. Good ball carrier. Justin Harrison, he's caught, and it's offside this time against Gloucester. And Gloucester taking a few risks in defence perhaps, but it's certainly working, and Ulster really feeling the heat from the men in the red shirts. Well,
it's the sheer physicality of the Gloucester defence so far that's dominating the gain line, dominating that yard either side of that gain line that's so important. Strong big hits. Here's Dewey getting smashed by a combination of Nieto, and I think it was Narroway. Big hits, and Boss sees half a gap. Shut that door.
There's Olivier Hazam on that occasion. Ulster kick into the corner for the line-out. They've got to go for the tries now, you feel. At 17 points to 0 down here as the 21st minute approaches. So Rory Best, who started the first 2 games for Ireland at the World Cup in France against Namibia and Georgia before he dislocated a thumb. Carlo Fava at the front of that line. It goes to Justin Harrison. 34 caps for the Wallabies. Made his debut famously against the Lions. And that's Neil Best who picks the ball up. In goes Brian Young, and Justin Fitzpatrick trying to clear this ball out for Ulster. Fitzpatrick picks up and goes. Alex Brown is in there making the tackle with Carlos Nieto. So it's all the forwards making the hits for Gloucester so far. Now Paddy Wallace to Tommy Bowe inside, but the interception, and it should be all the way for Ryan Lamb. Isaac Boss covers back, but he gets support from Simpson Daniel. Simpson Daniel for the corner. It's try number 4 and the bonus point for Gloucester in the 22nd minute. And Ulster are being thrashed here in Belfast.
If you want to know how to quieten a Ravenhill crowd, let Gloucester have just given you the blueprint. The defensive system's stuck together. Wallace still going flat to the line. Oh, he reads it well. But watch Simpson Daniel left of your screen. He wants to go left. He runs away. He's calling. He's in space. The ball's just behind him, and he still has the pace and the pickup to get away in the corner. There is so much pace and power, and Ryan Lamb is just pulling the strings, a master conductor.
Well, Ryan Lamb probably thought he was going to make it himself, but Boss had other ideas. But the awareness outside of winged-footed Simpson Daniel, Sinbad himself, poaching the try. And the Gloucester supporters, well, it's shed heads on tour, and they'll be enjoying it immensely.
They surely can't believe the level of performance, though. I think that's been the staggering They've never won in Ireland in the Heineken Cup before, and here they come out. You spoke to Dean Ryan before the game. Wasn't he wonderfully relaxed? He felt now is the time for Gloucester to take a step up, and what a statement of intent.
Here it is again, Isaac Glos, Paddy Wallace. It's a move that Ulster use a lot, that little flick inside. It's usually Andrew Trimble on the end of it, but Ryan Lamb was so aware to it. They'll have seen it on video, of course, Gloucester, and Sinbad finishes it off Simpson Daniel. Well, he's praying now, Mark McCauley, maybe praying for his livelihood.
Stay there.
You talk about Vainicala being a volcano. Well, McCall has come across a force of nature in Gloucester tonight.
They have been brilliant in every department, and that's Alex Brown again, taking a very clean ball, and doesn't he look determined? Look at the grimace on that face. And it's fantastic to watch, tremendous to watch. It's an exhibition of great rugby.
Next stop, this for you, please.
Now the mauling and driving, and Nick Wood breaks off. Carlos Nieto flopping in over the ball there with Alex Brown. And now Tommy Bowen. Already Ulster are going to have to chase this game. Bryn Cunningham knocks it deep. Olivier Azam to Ryan Lamb. Lamb looks up and kicks into the corner deep. Mark McRae was upfield. He's inside the 22. He's got Isaac Boss in support. McRae with a wobbly kick that fails to find touch. So again, here they come. Gloucester. Olivier Azam from Ryan Lamb.
Hands away, no white.
Clearing out that ball for Rory Lawson, which they do, and they're looking for width here perhaps, but again they take it through the middle, through Narroway, Luke Narroway, halfway line. Ryan Lamb out to Peter Buxton. Buxton with a step this time. Vainicala outside him. Rory Lawson. All Gloucester, the only side here posing a threat. They've scored 4 tries already, if you've just joined us, and 4 great tries they were. Peter Buxton picks it up. Attempted tackle there by Brian Young. Alex Brown goes in.
Let it come, White, let it come.
Couple of injuries on the far side of the pitch. One Gloucester, one Ulster. Ryan Lamb in the midfield. Knock on by Anthony Allen. And that'll be a scrummage and a chance perhaps for some treatment. But the 2 players who were hurt now seem to be okay. Olivier Azam, I think, maybe ran into Justin Harrison, or was it Delfava? But there was a collision on the wide outside. Delfava it was.
A clash of mighty heads, but Ryan Lamb has just a combination of big guys to look to, quick guys to look to. He must be enjoying the armchair that he's sat in right now. Just pulling the strings, moving around, looking for space, probing, reads this early, sticks a sort of Campese arm out, and it sticks. And off he goes, and the awareness. Look, he's looking. Where is he looking? Where are you, Sinbad? Where are you, son? You're my pal. You've gone left. There's the call. You finish it off.
But wasn't it great vision by Simpson Daniel?
In and out, in and out. Ran away from the defenders. Such a clever player. Can't believe he's only had that many caps.
I don't think anybody can, really. 25 years old, just 10 caps for England, but he has struggled a lot with a series of injuries through his career. That Ulster scrummage again is just being hammered on that tight head side. Brian Young, as I said at the start, playing out of position and paying for it. Nick Wood scrummaging very well on that loose head side. And again, here they come again. Turnover ball. Ian Bolshaw, he's going to capitalise again. It's going to be try number 5 for the Cherry and Whites. And Ulster are being minced alive.
Big defence, it's not rocket science, it's just simple stuff. Big defence, solid scrum, good line out, run hard, run straight, use the ball, and you will score tries. But was there a knock-on as the tackle was made?
We shall see. Isaac Boss out to Bryn Cunningham. Oh, perhaps.
Off the scrum cap. And then the pace, once you give him up, he's finding the pace he had in 2000, 2001 when he burst onto the scene.
28 years of age now, Ian Balshaw. There's still time for him to get back into an England shirt if he continues to play like this. 30 caps already in his career.
Good to see the last two try scorers. One a Sedbergh boy, one a Stonyhurst boy. Great old schools.
Conversion by Ryan Lamb. Kings have scored Ulster 0, Gloucester 29.
Let's see again if it was a knock-on here. It was Andrew Trimble in possession. Came off the top of the shoulder by Luke Narroway. Now, if it comes off the very top of the shoulder, it's not actually a knock-on. It comes off the lower part of the shoulder. It is. Maybe that's what the referee was making the decision on. But he certainly gave the benefit of the doubt to the attacking side there.
But how clinical. Half a chance, move the ball, try. That's all they've done.
Give it us, please, Ulster.
Again, just
Rough call.
fabulous. Where's my thesaurus? Need more words. Rory Lawson, the box kick, Viner, Cola to chase. In comes Tommy. Oh, and he got hit. Maybe slightly high there. I think Viner Cola just missed him with a flick of the hand, but that could have been nasty. But wasn't. Now Brian Young, now Paddy Wallace. Ulster must score before half-time, you feel. They've got to somehow get back into this game. How can they? 29 points to 0 down. It would be the comeback of comebacks. This could be the start of it. Andrew Trimble is strong, and Andrew Trimble is held up just short. Great defence. Now the try. The score from Matt McCulloch. And Ulster at last have something to show for the little bit of pressure they've had in this first half. 29 points to 5 with the kick to come.
A very, very narrow cliff edge to hang on to. But Trimble made the break. The power and the pace that he shows so often for Ireland, bursting through. You thought he might change direction, but he just backed his pace to go the whole way. Boss shifts direction. The show and go. Wood, he goes between two forwards. He gets away from Lamb. Good. As he was about to stretch out and score, Vainikolo stops it. But great back row work, never more than 2 or 3 yards away from the ball. Picks and snaffles from a yard.
Paddy Wallace with the conversion, so 29 points to 7, so some tiny hope for the Ulster crowd to hang on to with half an hour played. But Andrew Trimble is one of the great straight hard runners in Irish rugby.
Yeah, who does he pick off? Wood and Buxton, I think it was. You go between two forwards. As a back, you're always looking for mismatches. If you're quick, find the slow fat lads. There's the chances.
Just watching Vainikolo there, wasn't it brilliant defence by him?
Brilliant tackle, his right arm, he makes the tackle, and then as Trimble's about to place it, bats it back in. Trimble does well though.
Gloucester restart deep this time. Roger Wilson, great Churchill Cup he had for the Ireland A side in Exeter and at Twickenham in the summer. And Paddy Wallace pumps one downfield. David Humphreys would have started tonight if he'd passed that fitness test this morning. Well, he passed the fitness test and he failed it at the same time in sort of Irish fashion, but he is on the bench. He does have a problem with that ankle and will come on only if forced to.
Strange, isn't it? 29-7, yet I don't think Wallace has had a bad game at fly half. It's just the way Gloucester have played.
Well, every time Paddy Wallace plays for Ulster, he seems to get no ball, so he's pretty used to it. Olivier Zam gets the ball into the line out. Alex Brown again, who's had a tremendous game in the second row, has won some exceptional ball, very clean ball. Luke Narroway picks up, looked like a little bit of blockage there from Alistair Strokoch in front of him. But Gloucester getting the put into the scrummage, and don't think the Ulster crowd liked that decision too much.
One of the keys for Ulster, though, is the set pieces. The Gloucester scrum, however much you think Gloucester can come in, they have to find some sort of parity in this scrum. It's so dominant, that old gnarly front five of Gloucester. Azam, Nieto, Buxton, not the sort of people you want to bump into in a dark alley.
Well, as you say, Gloucester have lost all of their games in Ireland in the Heineken Cup. 4 visits in all, twice to Munster, once to Leinster, Lansdowne Road last season, and once to Ulster, the game we've mentioned, 14-12, 2 years ago.
And look at Vinocola just lurking outside Ryan Lamb like a big giant minder. If in trouble, son, I'll have it.
If I ever open a nightclub, he will be my bouncer. Good drive this time from Ulster. That was more like it. It was Carlos Nieto popping up in the tight head side, and Matt McCulloch applauding his forwards for their effort there. Carlo Del Fava and Justin Harrison, great experience on that second row for Ulster. Both men have played in the World Cup. And again, look at that scrummage from Gloucester, very solid. And it's Anthony Allen just stepping inside, but not getting past Rob Dewey. 4 starts for Scotland in the 2007 World Cup. And again, it's the big, strong ball carry by Buxton in midfield. And Lawson waits for the ball. Referee is playing the advantage now here to Gloucester for slowing the ball down. And they're going to come back here for the penalty. And Carlo Del Fava is the man who is penalised there. And there he is, signed from Bourgoin. They've lost a couple of decent players. Julien Bonner has gone to Clermont. And of course, Bourgoin are in this pool. Ulster play them next. There's Peter Buxton, and he's quite hard to stop, isn't he?
He's a big ball carrier. Normally plays in the back row, going to the second row, keeping Bortolami out. That's how highly Dean Ryan is regarding him at the moment.
The 29-year-old, and now here's Lawson again, and Lamb standing very flat. Mike Tindley takes the ball at pace. Neil Best is all over him. Rory Lawson outside the Lamb, inside to Alex Brown. He can carry too. The ball carrying from the forwards has been one of the highlights of this first half, and what a miss that was to Simpson Daniel. But the defence was aware to it. Big numbers again on this left-hand side for Gloucester. Rory Lawson looks down the blind side and he finds Ian Bolshaw. Good show of the ball to Simpson Daniel. Just kept his hands in front of him, made it available.
Just relentless. Relentless, relentless, relentless from Gloucester. Keeping the ball, driving hard, simple things. Ryan Lamb, wonderful floated ball.
Well, Bolshaw, he really does seem to be back to his best form, doesn't he? Former Bath player taken by Justin Harrison. Former Ulster captain. And an abrasive sort of an individual, and just taking Peter Buxton off the ball there. Nothing too serious though, as Ulster drive just outside their 22. 4 minutes to go to the break plus injury time. Ian Bolshaw is underneath this one. It was Andrew Trimble who put the kick away downfield. Bolshaw has Vinocola outside him, and Bolshaw taking a risk there, and tackled by Andrew Trimble, and Ulster get the penalty for not releasing.
A good Ravenhill penalty there in front of the stand. Nigel Owens, you've got to give it to us. I've been impressed by Bolshaw so far. He's done the basics well, not allowing the long kicks to bounce, taking it well and backing himself.
5 minutes, or just under 5 minutes, but 4.5.
4.5 to half-time. I said taking a risk there, Bolshaw, but of course in this first half Gloucester have taken risks and they've scored tries.
They've looked confident with the ball in hand. They're backing themselves. Occasionally Lawson took a quick penalty, which perhaps was actually a slow one, and there Bolshaw perhaps not an opportunity, but there is a strong breeze he's into, so it's much safer to run it back.
Carlo Del Fava, born in Umtala. 6'3", 16 stone 7.
Only follow him.
The ball goes to the tail this time to Matt McCulloch, and now it's Andrew Trimble to Isaac Boss. Outside him is Tommy Bowe. Isaac Boss has Bowe there. What a great tackle that was by Rory Lawson. Could have been a try-saving tackle, but Ulster still going, getting close to that line. need one more try before half-time. Get support from Neil Best, just standing off. Here's Isaac Boss, gets it to Best. In comes Harrison and Roger Wilson. Now Boss to Rory Best. Best drives into Vinacola. So close to the line here again. And it was McCulloch looking for the second try of the half. But Gloucester looked as if they might have turned him there, but illegally on the ground, not rolling away. And Boss takes it quickly. Good tackle by Wood, very alert by the loose head prop. Pressure, pressure, pressure from Ulster, but again it's good defending. Body positions were low. Ulster unable to squeeze their way over the line, but they do get the put into the scrummage.
And it all came from that line-out move. The video analysts have obviously spotted a weakness in the way Gloucester defend the front of the line-out. They move it left. They think Gloucester must honeypot and follow the ball. They switch it back. You could drive a bus through there.
Great tackle by Rory Lawson.
Time on, buddy.
I wonder what would have happened there if Bow had gone on the switch here. But we'll never know the answer. Here's the scrummage. Now this is where Ulster must be tough and they must be efficient, which they haven't been in this tight phase in the first half.
The ball is in, please. Okay. Come closer, Red. Oh, come closer, please. Come on. Yes, you can. Time out, Barry, please. Time out, yes. Closer.
Wood, Azam and Nieto have had the upper hand.
Touch. Pause, engage, in.
Better scrummage by Ulster, pick up by Roger Wilson. Matt McCulloch's there in support, so too Harrison. Can they drive through the cherry and whites here? And the ball is on the ground.
Stay red.
And Justin Fitzpatrick waits to pick it up. And rumbling on, Rory Best. And now Brian Young. And now Matt McCulloch. And gets help from Carlo Del Fava. But it's good defence so far by Gloucester. Nick Wood this time with a tackle. Rory Best. Justin Fitzpatrick stands over the ball. Here's Isaac Boss. Into injury time. Neil Best in possession. And Ulster getting advantage, not coming through the gate. Justin Harrison ready this time to pick up. Will they use the backs this time with the powerful runners in the forwards? Outside is Roger Wilson. He goes for the line. Rory Best is alongside him. Isaac Boss, now they go wide. It's Paddy Wallace. And Paddy Wallace is clean through for the try. Under the post for Ulster. Can they somehow get back into this game in the second half? 29 points to 12. It's all they could have done towards the death of this first 40 is scored a couple of tries and give themselves a chance in the second period. Great bravery and courage from the home side.
And here it is, Ryan Lamb picked out by the big Roger Wilson. That gives them quick ball, which they've not had before. Tyndall flies, tries to pick up Bow, and Wallace does as he's done earlier in the game, a little show and go. Anthony Allen stays for the switch. Tyndall follows Bow.
Well, you might remember last week, Wasps were well behind against Gloucester. They were 18 points adrift with just 18 minutes to go, and they actually won that match. Will that happen again here at Ravenhill tonight as the rain begins to fall? But it's Gloucester still very much in control at half-time. They lead Ulster by 29 points to 14 and 7 tries in the first half. There's a very strong Best association with this stadium because George Best was born in there in the Craiga estate. And of course Rory Best captains Ulster. Neil Best plays in the back row, no relation. And Rory Best's brother Simon Best is recovering from a heart problem. He won't play again this season, but he hopes to play next season. Ulster trailing here. They've won 16 of their last 18 Heineken Cup games here in the last 6 seasons. Traditionally, Ravenhill is a coliseum for the home side. Gloucester were supposed to play the role of the Christians, but they're not doing it quite that way so far. Andy Titterell is on for Gloucester in the front row for Olivier Azam. So, question, simple, can Ulster do enough to come back in this second half? Will Gloucester still have those memories of that Wasps defeat in the EDF Energy Cup?
I don't know if you can pick it up at home, but the rain is really coming down and the wind is right. Look at that kick from Wallace. It's just hanging in the air, doesn't want to go anywhere. Really big advantage for Gloucester in the second half. But Ulster, tenacious, they showed bottle and heart, and they stuck in it, which they had to. And Wallace and Trimble have to keep finding gaps if they have any chance in this second half.
Well, with this wind and rain, just to develop that, the way the Gloucester pack played in the second half, this must play right into their hands, would it?
You would like to think so. They started so well that when the pressure came, as it always does in a game, they weren't as watertight as they'd like. The weather may take a little bit of their expanse away from their game, but no less powerful and no less dramatic, I'm sure, in the second half.
Andy Titterell is not pregnant. He's keeping the ball dry for the throw into the line-out. The 5-times cap England international, an Ulster injury. Rory Best, you can see that right thumb is strapped. That's the one he dislocated in the World Cup, and Jerry Flannery then replaced him. And Rory Best seems to be okay.
Time on.
And the rain now is really beginning to hammer down here in Belfast. It wasn't the forecast. It's come at just the wrong time for Ulster. Alex Brown takes the ball on the line out. Luke Narroway supports him. And here's Andy Titterell, who takes the ball on, the 26-year-old who played in South Africa in the summer. You could expect the Gloucester men to use the forwards in this second half. Justin Harrison almost did enough there to get his hands on the ball and turn it round, but not quite. So we may not just see as much flashing, expansive rugby in the second half as we did in the first. And who could blame the players for that as the conditions deteriorate here quickly?
No.
Lawson. Again, you can see it's the forwards carrying the ball. Peter Buxton again. Big Peter Buxton. Brian Young makes the tackle.
Stay out.
There's Buxton again at the tail. Just bridging over the ball. Rory Lawson gets it out to Lamb, to Luke Narroway, tackled by Paddy Wallace.
Stay out that way.
It's Matt McCulloch tries to get over the top of the ball there. Lamb inside to Mike Tyndall, one of the try scorers in the first half. Rory Lawson again gets it outside. Carlos Nieto into Justin Harrison. And Carlo Del Fava, Italian on Italian. Rory Lawson. And Lamb looks into the corner for the Volcano to chase. But it's all the way into touch, marshalled by Tommy Bowe.
Ryan Lamb has to show that. The last couple of weeks, they've lost a couple of tight games. They allowed Wasps to come back and beat them. It's the lessons of Europe. They did enough in the first half to win this game 3 times over, but 2 tries from Ulster have kept him in it. They've got to learn how to close games out, learn how to win the tight ones.
So you would excuse Gloucester if they shut this game down in the second half?
Wonderful kick from Ryan Lamb. You know, he showed all that expanse in the first half, but then in the second half, wind behind, wet, stick it in the corner. Ulster get out of Death Valley.
It's not quite as warm as Death Valley in here tonight, I can tell you. The temperature has really dropped here. Rory Best, bit of a stutter in the throw, and he's put his line out in his defence under pressure there. Del Fava had to do the hoovering work there, and Rory Lawson has the ball. Another chance, perhaps, the chip through. And did Simpson Daniel get his hands on the ball? The referee, Nigel Owens, is going to take time out.
Barry, can you check me if it's knocked on red, just to make sure, please?
Barry Gregory is the TMO. Nigel Owens thinks it was a knock-on, and you can tell by the formation of the players usually whether to try or not. And I think Simpson Daniel knows himself that he's knocked the ball on.
They were all waiting for it, they were all flat, but as you can see, Simpson Daniel's waiting for the 22. He knows there's no try here.
Yes, yeah. Okay, drop it 22.
I often wonder sometimes why the player lets the referee go to the TMO if he knows he's knocked it on. Just say to the referee, knock it on, ref, let's play on.
You never know.
Play on, back right.
Justin Harrison takes the ball from Ulster. There speaks a true professional, Will Greenwood. Wallace gets the ball outside and gets support from Best. And McRae drives in hard and help from Del Fava. Isaac Boss waits. Out to Paddy Wallace. A good step for Wallace, but again just outside the 22. Running into heavy traffic. Rory Best once more. Gloucester trying to turn him in the shape of Luke Narroway. Matt McCulloch on the ground. Isaac Boss. Ulster must find some sort of inspiration here from deep. They're playing the first 5 minutes of this second half in their own half. Isaac Boss. Underneath it is Lawson, who took up a good position there, but he's tackled by McRae. Rory Best comes in hard, but it's good Gloucester ball here. Peter Buxton picks up again. How many ball carries has he had in this match? How many metres has he made? Does that man ever do anything else but cross the gain line? Here's Carlos Nieto. Prop together. Nick Wood. Lawson gets it out. Lamb this time. It's the up and under. And charging in there is Bryn Cunningham, taking the ball so well in the air, as he has done for 10 seasons for Ulster. Rarely drops a ball. Isaac Boss looking to break. Del Fava, Neil Best. And there's Rod Dewey. He's the mash and smash in this Ulster midfield, but hasn't made much of an impression tonight, or in fact in too many of the games he started for Ulster, just settling himself into this new team after his signing from Edinburgh. Gloucester very quick off the mark there defensively as Ulster try to charge forward. Justin Harrison playing scrum half. Isaac Boss on his backside. Paddy Wallace pumps it high. No, it's knocked on by Ian Bolshaw. Can Ulster capitalise here? Brian Young kicks the ball through, and it's Simpson Daniel who'd stripped Mark McRae on the outside, but there was a knock forward in the middle of the field.
The last 2 minutes was a contrast of two fullbacks. Cunningham the take, and then Bolshaw, he just has a little glance, doesn't he? He thinks someone else is coming for it. He doesn't want to make contact. There's the error. Gifts ball to Ulster. But previously, Cunningham, the Irish teams with Dempsey, with Payne, with Cunningham, have great fullbacks under the high ball.
He called mine, and then he took his eyes off the ball. But did score a great try in the first half. We saw him offloading as well.
But they'll be keen to score first, Gloucester, the way the first half ended.
Look at the Ulster scrummage again being driven back. So difficult ball for Roger Wilson to deal with off the base, but did well to carry it and to make some distance there. He is very, very good at that. Roger Wilson. Isaac Boss again backtracking, not going forwards. It is crab-like at times from Boss. The drive comes in. Justin Fitzpatrick over the top of the ball. No scrum half at the moment because Boss is right in the middle of that. Andrew Trimble gets it out. Poor pass to Neil Best. Bryn Cunningham doing some good work in there, and it's still Fava who waits with Tommy Bowe outside him. He wants Roger Wilson there, not Tommy Bowe. He pushed him out of the way. Now Boss is back in the scrum half position. Paddy Wallace outside and Rod Dewey on the switch. And again, he doesn't get too far. Alistair Strokoch, the ambitious Scotsman, one cap so far, but he wants to add to that total. And again, look at the muscularity and the tackling by Gloucester, knocking Ulster back. Isaac Boss outside to Tommy Bowe, tries to wriggle his way outside the defenders, but Simpson Daniel made a good tackle there. Ryan Lamb was involved as well.
Narroway dragging them in. Got to let the scrum half play. Silly penalty. There's Buxton. He'll have to have a word with his troops and say, fellas, we need to score next. Let's not gift anything to them after the Bolshaw error. Now the silly penalty.
Well, you were a defence shredding centre. How do Ulster break down this tough Gloucester defence?
Well, with the weather as it is, you need people like Roger Wilson from the base of the scrum to go and find people like Ryan Lamb, to go and take on people like Tyndall and still make yards and still make it quick ball.
No number.
So on the 22, Ulster playing into this stiffish breeze. The rain seems to have eased slightly. Plenty of options in the line out of Ulster. McCulloch goes to the front this time. This Justin Harrison doesn't get his hands on the ball, and again it's scruffy line out, slippery conditions, and Gloucester can capitalise on that. But that's good from Del Fava. Guys, so great strength, spinning, running, driving, and they get the penalty, not rolling away Gloucester, and that was all down to Del Fava.
It was him who went down on the ball, picked it up, stopped the messing around after the Justin Harrison tap, and they drove through him, and he found a gap himself. Off he went. Gloucester kill it. Interesting, they're not... Are they going for the corner, or are they going to get within 2 scores?
Well, they're only 15 points adrift here. It's interesting that they will go for the corner here to get within 12 points with still half an hour to go. Well, it's certainly attainable that they could catch Gloucester from there, but of course if they score a try from here, they'll be even closer naturally. Ryan Caldwell is the player who looks like he might be coming on for Del Fava. The Churchill Cup player had a superb Churchill Cup in Exeter, and also coming on for Gloucester is Marco Bortolami. What a replacement to be able to bring on the Italian captain.
Yeah, Bortolami will go into the second row, and Buxton, you would think, would shift back to his more accustomed back row position. Oh, they'll need all Bortolami's nows to defend this. They need to keep Ulster out.
Well, Ryan Caldwell, a potential Irish international of the future, just 21 years of age, and he takes that line out well. His first action was both hands firmly clasped on the ball. And there it is for Isaac Voss, and it's a string quartet there of forwards just outside. And Isaac Voss waits. Ulster looking for their third try. This really would get them back into the game if they can score it. And Gloucester coming up very quickly there in the shape of Andy Titterell. And Isaac Voss gets it out to Paddy Wallace, and Paddy Wallace the pop to Rob Dewey. This is where they need his strength, and he presents the ball well. Isaac Voss has options right and left. He goes right with a big defenders were for Gloucester. In numbers, the tackle from Tyndall. Voss tries to snipe, and Narroway makes the tackle this time, but it's inside the 22 for Ulster. Bryn Cunningham's taken up a position away on the wide outside here on the left, and Justin Harrison seemed to injure himself there as he tried to jog across the pitch. So Ulster down to 14 men. He's tweaked that knee. Neil Best just dragging players out of the way. It's very slow, it's sluggish at the moment from Ulster. Isaac Voss outside to Paddy Wallace again. Tommy Bowe. And he was looking to try and offload that there, but the tackle was a good one. All Ulster at the moment. Neil Best outside Isaac Voss. Justin Fitzpatrick goes in there. The 8th phase of this attack. The World Cup statistics would tell you that the more phases you go through, the less chance you have of scoring a try. We shall see. Can Ulster disprove that stat here? Underneath the Gloucester post. Very good period of possession for the home side. And now it's Andrew Trimble. Tries a cut inside. A good tackle by Anthony Allen, not the biggest man in the world. Mike Tyndall is back up. He was down for the second. And in fact, he makes the tackle with Nick Woods. We can't be too badly hurt. Here's Isaac Voss again. Looks out. Oh, it's a poor pass, and that was not Ulster at their best, shall we say. And Rory Lawson gathers the ball, but a knock forward, and all those phases wasted in the end.
But all the time, Wallace is beginning to go flatter, beginning to probe. Dewey, whilst he hasn't made some big breaks, has just made half a yard here or half a yard there. And as the weather's come, Ulster have managed to get hold of the ball, but as Gloucester did in the first half, points from possession. Ulster haven't made points in their own possession, and they're going to have to turn that around very quickly.
Andrew Trimble here. Look at the defence from Anthony Allen. He looks half his size, but he just lifted him off his feet there, and Trimble's over 15 stone, you know.
They're all powerful now. Everyone tackles. There's Wood making a tackle. 1 to 15 now. You've got to be able to tackle.
with a number of tackles made in the second half. 38 already by Gloucester in just 15 minutes. Ulster in the first half making a huge 74. Another replacement coming on, Mark Bartholomew, the former Australian international, replaces Bryn Cunningham. Mark Bartholomew's one cap against Italy, and of course spent a long time at Saracens, 4 Super 12 finals. Experienced man in his 30s now.
Hands away in there, please. Let it come, let it come, let it come.
Just gone a little flat, hasn't it? Gloucester just a bit worried about the gap being closed, so they're not playing as much rugby. They can't get their hands on the ball.
Mark McRae, Mark Bartholomew's his first run, a good run it is, he's found space. He's got Mark McRae in support. Mark Bartholomew's eventually gets tackled. Gloucester allowing him space. Isaac Boss was tackled for a knock-on there on against Isaac Boss and turnover ball, but Gloucester deciding on the safe option there.
Simpson Daniel, brilliant kick. Nieto scragged Boss at the base. The crowd thought it was offside. He came from behind the back foot. Owens let it go. But what a first touch from Bartholomew's. This game's easy. He turns on, goes 50 yards with a little show and go. He puts the ball out in front of him, feigns to pass. Simpson Daniel falls for it. Does exceptionally well.
Great work by the utility back, and that's great hands again by Ryan Caldwell. Remember how wet the ball is there, but he had flypaper fingers on that occasion. Well, now it's Isaac Boss once more, and underneath it, and Gloucester. And Ulster managed to somehow get their hands on the ball through McCulloch, who read that well, and Paddy Wallace into midfield to Rob Dewey. Rob Dewey again uses power. This time it's Bartholomew's, and he's hit by the volcano. Not a pleasant sensation. Isaac Boss gets it outside. Paddy Wallace flicks inside Ryan Caldwell, and Neil Best in trouble, and Luke Narroway hacks the ball through. Luke Narroway needs the bounce. Paddy Wallace is back covering just as well for Ulster, but Luke Narroway was harrowing and harrying well.
There was an opportunity, wasn't there? Tyndall came up on the blitz, misjudged it, then almost made the break. There's the little knock-on. Narroway kicks, off he goes, and Wallace does exceptionally well to come back. It was his loose pass that set it up. The chance for Gloucester, and it's him that covers backwards. It's never like making your own error. You always travel a little bit quicker.
Paddy Wallace did well. Narroway, a product of the Gloucester Academy, another one of the relative youngsters at 24 years of age. Andy Titterell, and that's good ball again in the line out. Bordalami takes it well. Here's the Gloucester drive. They've seen this so often at Kingsholm. They're seeing it here again at Ravenhill. Another try might just seal this game for the English side. And they pick up and go so close to the line here. They're a metre short. Alex Brown is in there and not releasing. So a penalty to Ulster, and it's taken quickly by Rory Best, who charges upfield, has to be allowed to go 10, and he wasn't.
Brian Young, they all went over him, they all patted him on the back. He won the initial penalty, holding on. Diffused the Gloucester driving more. You thought if they went over there it would be the final nail, but Brian Young keeps them in it. Best takes it to them, to Gloucester, gets the extra 10, and they get out of their own half.
Well, it was Bordalami who took the ball, and it was Bordalami who was so close to getting to the line as well.
There he is, over the top. There's number 3, foot over, on his feet.
Ulster line out Justin Harrison again, and trying to storm through there was Alex Brown, who came so close to getting his hands on the ball, and Ulster giving the ball away at the line out once more. Ryan Lamb in midfield, and it's a good run by Narroway again. He's so good in the loose, and he's pacey as well. Ryan Lamb, what can they do from here? Taken on by Peter Buxton. Huge ball carrier for Gloucester into the final quarter. No points in this second half, despite Ulster's dominance in all those phases they roll through. Ulster going forward there and getting the put into the scrummage.
Strong defence again from Ulster. The break was made. Who was there covering him behind? Wallace again. He's had a standout performance behind a pack that has on occasion gone backwards. But as you can see, what a whirlwind start to the game. And with the rain in the second half, and with the edginess as it gets close to the final whistle, Gloucester just happy to camp down here, backing the fact that Ulster can't go the length.
Back down there, okay? Come straight to the middle. Nothing there. Time to put the ball
Gareth Delve is coming on, and Kieran Dawson, who was stretchered off last week against Glasgow with a knee injury, is on. And that knee is not in great condition. The 21 times capped open side. Neil Best will revert to his more natural position of blind side. And there he is trying to get his hands on the ball on the ground and did well there. Harrison has gone off, so McCulloch then will move into the second row where he's more used to playing. And a bit of footwork there from the Ulster side as Ryan Caldwell takes the ball on for Ulster.
Push back, please.
McCulloch. Nick Wood been asked to roll away, which they did quite effectively, but Peter Buxton doing some great work there. And here's Lawson, and now it's Quetta, who had that great run in the first half. And then he tries to offload. Back goes Tommy Bowe, who collects, and Vinocola and Mike Tyndall are close by. Tyndall hops away. Maybe suffered a bit of damage to his ankle there, but it's inside the Ulster 22 here. Isaac Boss. Straight down the throat of Ian Bolshaw, but well followed up there by Kieran Dawson. Didn't look like a man with a knee injury there, did he? The man who played 190 times for London Irish, but a penalty to Ulster here. And Alex Brown, it looks like, is the player who is penalised.
Yeah, they wanted the penalty here for Bolshaw holding on, but did well. Dawson, great tackle, but then they sniffed a turnover, and Alex Brown has shut the gate. It's a great kick from Boss. It's a great kick. Gives Dawson the chance to get there, ground his man, get in over it. Great work from Ulster to get out in that corner. Here's the tackle from Dawson. Bolshaw knows if he spins quickly, he can get away. But that's an all-engrossing tackle. Did it for years at London Irish.
And he's a rugged old veteran, is Kieran Dawson. 33 years of age in January he will be. But he still has a huge enthusiasm for the game, as he showed there. So Ulster now in a much better position. There's Matt McCulloch, a try score in the first half, and Rory Best finds Neil Best back to Rory Best. Now flashing one into midfield, and that's a good little ball to Tommy Bowe. He loves to come inside off that right wing into that channel. Here's Andrew Trimble again, and this is Brian Young. Isaac Boss gets the ball out to Rob Dewey to Ryan Caldwell. Ryan Caldwell fires a poor pass out, and that means that Gloucester are able to reclaim the ball and turn it over. There's that inside the 22. It's not going to matter. Tommy Bowe is going to cover all the way back. Remember, with the wind at their backs, Gloucester, so that one rolls into the in-goal area. So no difficulties for Tommy Bowe.
Again, Wallace, you've got to admire him. He gave the intercept ball in the first half with the inside pass. Backs himself. Oh, clash of heads. Clash of heads there with Gareth Delve, who is a big lump. He's done well to get up. He's had a great game, and there's the claret. The spoils, not the spoils of war. That would be the victory.
Not even a grimace from Paddy Wallace, but nobody reclaiming that restart initially. Roger Wilson does now. And it's Neil Best who gets the ball out to Paddy Wallace into midfield, and it's Andrew Trimble trying to use that strength, but he's tackled by Peter Buxton. And it's a scrummage to Ulster inside their own 22, still 15 points adrift, just 16 minutes to go. And to remind you, no points in this second half. And there is Eddie O'Sullivan, the first sighting of the Irish coach since the end of the World Cup, when he seemed to disappear.
Having a look at the Ulster players, he wouldn't seem to pick. They were there, but they weren't there. Wallace, Best, Trimble, Boss leapfrogged by Reddin. Number 2, Reddin pops up, he's number 1. Wallace had 1 minute against Namibia. Best in the back row came on, but always when the game was lost, never got a chance. So these guys with a point to prove. They will not have been pleased with the opening 20 minutes, but the last 40, they've dug in, they've dug deep, and those big mains, those big internationals have showed some nice touches to keep Ulster in it.
Eddie O'Sullivan, of course, signed a new 4-year contract just before the World Cup. So he's in situ for the foreseeable future. And that's a better scrummage by Ireland. Isaac Boss chips the ball not into touch, and it's taken by Bolshaw. That's the halfway line. The run from Bolshaw, turns his body and sets the ball back into a good position. Picked up by Gareth Delve, and he runs into Kieran Dawson. The volcano, Leslie Vinacola, waits, and he gets tackled by Roger Wilson.
Is that his first touch in about 30 minutes?
Probably, yeah, probably. Did score a try in the first half thanks to a deft little chip in the red zone from Ryan Lamb, and here he is, and it's Mike Tyndall who almost got through the middle there. Good straight run by the centre, and it was Rob Dewey who made the tackle. Ryan Lamb again. Here's Anthony Allen. Anthony Allen needs support to get there quickly. Ulster on the wrong side there, and the referee is playing the advantage to Gloucester. They're going to get the penalty.
All came from the Tyndall half break. The lovely use of decoy runners. It's a fine line. Is it obstruction or is it a decoy? Committing the defender to a man who's not going to get the ball. It just opened half a hole, and Ryan Lamb will need no second invitation here. Kill another couple of minutes, get the scoreboard ticking. But here's the pass. There is Quera, the decoy runner, just commits Wallace. And then Dewey has to step in, but the damage is done. You're in behind them. Wallace committed on Quera, in behind them. The quick ball comes. Ulster have to commit the offence, and Ryan Lamb gets the chance.
Ulster all the possession in the second half, and Gloucester get the points. 32 points to 14. 67 minutes played here at Ravenhill, and it's looking very, very good now for a Gloucester victory away from home. And of course in the Heineken Cup, that is so crucial. And David Humphreys comes on for the final 12 minutes of this game, despite struggling with that ankle injury that he picked up earlier in the season and troubled him again after the Glasgow game, and he gets a great cheer. He is something of a legend in these parts.
Yeah, Dewey goes off. I don't think he's quite been right, has he? That knee's not been good enough. Wallace will go to 12. Humphreys will step into his favourite position of 10 and try and produce some of the magic.
Portalami missed that ball from the restart, and Neil Best gathers it for Ulster. Isaac Boss to Paddy Wallace. Tommy Bowe goes driving in to support and try and clear the ball out for his scrum half, which he does effectively. It's Mark Bartholomew's out half, and David Humphreys to Paddy Wallace. Paddy Wallace can play in the centre as well. And it's David Humphreys. And that is a very, very typical Humphreys chip. It almost worked out well there for Mark McRae, but a beautiful weight on it.
One of the great probers, David Humphreys, just puts it in behind you, finds space, asks questions of the defensive back three. So much difference in experience. How many games has David Humphreys won on his own?
That doesn't include his 72 caps for Ireland and 560 points for them either. Turned 36 in September. The sort of Mike Cat of the Ulster side, David Humphreys. Well, Ulster were trailing by 13 points to nil here a couple of weeks ago against Leinster, and Humphreys came off the bench and he totally changed the game, and the match ended up in a draw, 16 points all. I wonder, can he do the same again here tonight? It's possibly a much tougher order though.
It is a tougher order, but rugby's one big game of chess, and he's a grandmaster as David Humphreys. He's been there, seen every position. He knows how to work holes, work angles. If the forwards can give him some ball, then he can find the holes. But Ryan Lamb on the other side has sat in an armchair. He needs to work on his goal kicking. 3 from 6. That might be his Achilles heel at the moment, but his distribution, his kicking from hand, and on occasion his tackling has been absolutely top draw tonight.
Ryan Lamb was 6 when David Humphreys made his debut for Ulster.
He's a young looking lad, isn't he, Ryan Lamb? But he's bulked up, added a bit of physicality.
And he's played well tonight. Scored a try, set up a try.
That's it. You can see the importance he has now. That's Buxton. That was the captain. He was just having a quiet word. He might be young, he might be inexperienced, but at fly half, you run the show. Whether you're 17 or whether you're 36, you're the man that moves the team around the field. You're the man who delivers the killer passes, who finds the gaps, and he's done that so well tonight.
Well, he was the Guinness Premiership Player of the Month in September. This was Mike Tyndall for Vinacola, and Vinacola knocked off 3 or 4 defenders. Then the support arrived, and just watch Ryan Lamb here, Will. Wasn't this wonderful?
Goes flat, sees 1 and 3 in front of him. Oh, loves it when you see those guys in front of you close to the line. He steps inside, steps again. He doesn't allow them to get a good shot on him. They can only get elbows and below. They can't get shoulders on him. And he steps and he reaches, and he's a man who's so confident in his rugby at the moment.
Well, he played in the Churchill Cup in 2007, got a start there, won the Grand Slam with England at under-19 level. Real prospect. And there's that scrummage again, overpowering Ulster. Look at the damage they are doing there.
Ball is out.
The ball is out,
Roll away, White.
says Nigel Owens.
Your hands out, good. Stay, stay. That's out now.
So 8 minutes to play here. Hasn't Buxton got through a massive amount of work tonight, Will?
A ball carrier, line out, scrums, tackles. There were question marks. How is he keeping Bortolami out? Well, tonight is why he's keeping Bortolami out at the moment.
Well, he's shown great energy as the captain, Peter Buxton, and Ryan Lamb from inside the 22 to Mark McRae, and now Mark Bartholomew's. And outside him is Tommy Bowe. Bartholomew's again, who's tackled. Oh, Mark McRae has hit hard and dislodged the ball there, and that's why Gloucester have got the turnover here. Rory Lawson outside from Lamb, and now Buxton and Bolshaw running backwards at the moment, trying to find some space. He's got support from Wood. Bolshaw again, full of energy, full of running. 3 Ulster defenders, just 1 Gloucester man there first. Now Simpson Daniel gets there. Rory Lawson outside him to Ryan Lamb, and it's Quera.
Another man who's been all energy tonight, Quera, all over the field, carrying, tackling.
And now perhaps another try on the way. Anthony Allen looked outside him for Peter Buxton, who is absolutely everywhere. Buxton has covered every blade of grass. Lawson outside again, and it's Ryan Lamb to Alex Brown inside the 22. Great position here. Options left and right. Most of the numbers to the left-hand side, but the ball forward there to Mike Tyndall.
Isaac Boss did well. He saw the danger, he gambled, and it forced the forward pass. But there's the big hit. That's on Bartholomew's, which means, and then Vinacola follows it up. And there's Quera running with the ball. It was him who set up the first Vinacola try with the bus straight through the midfield. He's been fantastic, and Ryan Lamb taking a breather. A big game next week, back-to-back Heineken Cup games. He's been magnificent all evening, and not a bad replacement.
Yeah, he doesn't miss too many kicks at goal, does he, Chris Patterson?
Well, he's come away, Patterson, hasn't he? Not been there long, not ready to go step in. Lamb knows his team very well, but what a great combination Dean Ryan's got to pick at 10. Chris Patterson or Ryan Lamb.
81 caps. Here's Mark Bartholomew's 1 cap, his second clean break of the night. Now Tommy Bowe for Ulster, showing that pace. Gloucester tracking back well, the tackles coming in. And good recycling by Ulster, and they're going to get penalised here, Gloucester, for the knock forward. But Bartholomew's twice has just ripped through this defence.
Now what happens here? Buxton's gone to the second row, and as Vinacola, that's what he has to learn. He's given Buxton, who's covered every blade of grass, covered him too much to do. He's made the gap in between. He's gone through the hole. and then just the error. But Vainicolo just got caught wide. You see there, he opens the hole for a flyer. Poor old Buxton has been scrummaging all day and say, Leslie, come back here, son, you're giving me too much to do.
I think he heard you, he's walking over. Time to leave the commentary box. Well, Mark McCall staring at defeat now, and they go to Bourgoin next week, and that's not going to be easy either.
Yeah, Bourgoin, one of the teams that we'd always talk about French teams, you never know who's going to turn up, but Bourgoin are one of the best, always flattered to deceive in the Heineken Cup, always under-delivered, and it's a must-win game already. You can't win the Heineken Cup in the first 2 weeks, but you can lose it.
Well, Bourgoin lost home and away in the last Heineken Cup in the pool stages, but they have won their first 2 games in the French Championship. So it'll be a decent test, I imagine, despite the fact they're missing Olivier Malou, one of their star French players, and Anthony Allen goes off, and Ollie Morgan, the big Ollie Morgan, replaces him.
Yeah, he's a good player, Ollie Morgan. Again, it shows the strength and depth that Dean Ryan's built up with this squad, with the quality of their bench. He has bulked up. He loves the outside arc. Bolshaw will shift to the wing, and Morgan will get a chance of Heineken rugby for the last 5 minutes.
Well, Morgan's built like a back row forward, 2 caps for England, and it's David Humphreys again. It's awful ball for Ulster to have to deal with there. Roger Wilson picks it up, and really he's been working like an Electrolux on the ground as Roger Wilson. He's done so much clearing, and it's Tommy Bowe. McCulloch gets the ball for Isaac Voss. It's David Humphreys, and it's Justin Fitzpatrick. Good carry by the loose head, but again the ball is spinning out there. There's no control. It's picked up by Paddy Wallace, who goes to ground, and here's Isaac Voss. Misses out Neil Best, David Humphreys, and Ryan Caldwell. He is a good ball carrier. He's quick off the mark. Very strong, stays on his feet well. Isaac Voss outside, Andrew Trimble to Mark Bartholomew's. Bartholomew's tackled by Nick Wood. Well, the forwards tackle count from Gloucester has been huge in this game. Humphreys to Paddy Wallace, and the tackle coming in this time from Chris Patterson. Isaac, oh, look at that tackle again. It's an absolute thumper. I think it was Titterell that time. Rory Best comes in there, and this time it's Gareth Delve who stops Best. Isaac Voss is David Humphreys outside him. Humphreys tips for Mark McRae. Bolshaw's there, takes it well, and calls for the mark. But an offside decision, I think we're coming back for.
Yeah, he's called Bolshaw for offside. Gives Ulster another chance.
Well, Bolshaw was the man who called for the mark, but the referee had spotted the infringement earlier on, so Paddy Wallace will chip this into the corner. But it's a vain effort in these last couple of minutes for Ulster. They're well and truly beaten here at Ravenhill tonight.
Because they've met brick walls like that all night. That's the problem. They had their pressure, they had their moments, but at the start of the second half, with all that possession, they lost their chance by not taking any points. And Gloucester have then simply shut the game out. A good European lesson from Gloucester tonight.
Yeah, the Gloucester defence has at times been quite frightening to watch. It's been so physical. Taken by Matt McCulloch. Isaac Voss outside to Roger Wilson, who drops the ball, knocks it forward. Gloucester possession on their 22, and that's going to be a penalty to Gloucester.
And I would imagine they will bang it long, take the line out and kill the clock and kick it off sideways.
So Chris Patterson goes to touch, and Will Greenwood, who's your Heineken? Oh, maybe not. We'll just wait for that moment of magic from Mr. Greenwood as Mark McRae keeps the ball in play for Ulster. Tries to find a gap. That's great from McRae, the Irish Schools International. Again, the tackling eventually is good, but the first up was missed. Here's Isaac Voss. Isaac Voss thought he saw a little bit of a gap over the top, but Alex Brown is a big man. You've got to get the ball over the second row's head first of all, which Voss didn't quite manage to do. Voss to Roger Wilson. Wilson to Mark Bartholomew, who's looked very effective since he's come on in this second half. Rory Best goes to ground. It's David Humphreys. It's Isaac Voss. Isaac Voss thought he saw a little bit of a gap over the top, but Alex Brown is a big man. You've got to get the ball over the second row's head first of all, which Voss didn't quite manage to do. Voss to Roger Wilson. Wilson to Mark Bartholomew, who's looked very effective since he's come on in this second half. Rory Best And Isaac Boss chips down the touchline. And Chris Patterson showing his experience there. Very narrow angle. This time he does find touch, and I can ask Will Greenwood who his Heineken man of the match is.
Well, in the second half and the end of the first half, I was impressed by Wallace on Ulster team, but Buxton's been all over the field, and yet he still can't get it. What a tremendous game he's had. He's led from the front, but in a great team effort. That man there, the youngster, Ryan Lamb, showing what a tremendous talent he's developing into. He's pulled the strings. He's been all over the field, he's nudged, he's probed, he's tackled, he's put blokes through holes. He's had a wonderful performance, and the Heineken man of the match following Charlie Hodgson last night. English fly halves are having a fantastic weekend. There's the interception that set up the Simpson-Daniel try. A wonderful performance. Dean Ryan must be delighted to have him at fly half.
Yeah, he scored a try, set up two others. Another. Oh dear goodness, there are going to be some bruised Ulster bodies in the ice baths after this match. Paddy Wallace, he gets hit hard. Mark McCrae goes into contact, and it's Mike Tyndall who crunches him. Kieran Campbell is now on for Ulster, the Irish international scrum half, and Colwell sets it for Campbell to David Humphreys to Andrew Trimble. He's going nowhere, and it's Quera who gets hold of him.
That's what's impressive. Look, still with that time on the clock, the oppressive defence from Gloucester.
Well, it's been suffocating, absolutely suffocating. A choking defensive performance by Gloucester. Kieran Campbell to David Humphreys, and Paddy Wallace a little step, keeping the ball in one hand, trying to offload. Campbell, Humphreys, what can he do? Well, he throws a long ball that's knocked on by McCulloch, and there is a fair amount of injury time to be played.
There he is, the man of the Heineken man of the match, Ryan Lamb. Dean Ryan having a word with Anthony Allen, checking he's all right. Dennis Betts, a hard man in rugby league, smiles, congratulating his young fly half. Here's the hot stepper. Look good on the dance floor in Belfast tonight with moves like that.
Well, he's got feet like Michael Flatley, so you're absolutely right. He river danced his way through that series of tackles, did Ryan Lamb.
Push back, push back.
Mike Prendergast, the Irishman, is on the pitch. Here's Vinokola.
Hands away, right. Hands away now.
Scored a try in this game, a sixth try for Gloucester.
Hands away, right.
He's played 2 games plus 25 minutes against Wasps. So it's not a bad start in rugby union, is it?
6 tries, 2 games. You'd take that when you bought him. Simpson-Daniel again, he finished his try well, didn't he? He was involved in the Mike Tyndall try up the right-hand side. A wonderful offload back inside to Bolshaw. Bolshaw-Daniel playing well. Tyndall filling space. Vinokola, the offload. He is English qualified, we must stress that. At some stage, I'm sure that phone call will come. Get him involved, have a look at him. Crikey, he can do some damage.
Gloucester play the Ospreys at Kingsholm next week, and well, if they can get a home win there, what a start that would be to their Heineken Cup campaign. The away wins are so crucial in the pools.
That's why this competition is so wonderful. Already next week, Ospreys versus Gloucester. What a game we've got to look forward to next week.
Odds, by the way, 3-1 that all of the Irish provinces would lose on the opening weekend of the Heineken Cup. Leinster, they play Leicester tomorrow at the RDS, live on Sky. And then Wasps play Munster in Coventry. Kieran Campbell, and the ball interfered with there by Quera.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Heineken man of the match.
The South Sea Islands have produced some great back row forwards through that World Cup. You look at Maka, Latu, Satiti, Tapoli. Not a bad group. Here's Kieran Campbell to David Humphreys into the corner. Bolshaw had moved upfield in an attacking position. Ollie Morgan is there, of course, on at full-back. Bolshaw very comfortable on the wing, as he's proved through the years.
no matter what the score, David Humphries still knows when it's a bad decision to run. He still picks the corner out, says we'll play from there. Trying to hide, a shy young man. He just wants to be one of the lads, part of the team, but thoroughly deserved. Great performance.
Yeah, he'd just been told there that you'd given him man of the match. He's a very proud young man, and so he should be. The Ulster fans looking fairly morose, as they have done for most of this season, and Gloucester get their hands on the ball again. Chris Patterson finds touch. 5 minutes of injury time played in the final minute of injury time, according to Nigel Owens. And the Ulster fans begin to stream away.
It's one of the great sights when you're playing away from home, when the home fans start to disappear. Shows you what a good job you've done. The far stand is almost empty now. It's silenced Ravenhill on a Friday night, and not many English teams do that.
Yeah, Friday night under lights at Ravenhill. It was almost impossible to win here in the past. But that mysticism is gone. You think of the wins they have had here against Toulouse and Leicester and Wasps and Gloucester 2 years ago. But advantage to Gloucester in the tackle. Will that be the final play, or is there more from Nigel Owens?
There is. Dean Ryan. It's been a great start from Gloucester, hasn't it? A wonderful open to the game, but Dean Ryan will keep their feet on the ground. They conceded some 2 tries. They won't be as happy as they could have been with that, and they know the Ospreys will mount some serious threats both in the scrum and behind the scrum next week. But what a tremendous start.
Mike Prendergast, a signing from Bourgoin, spent a season there, former Munster player, is on for Rory Lawson, and Christian Califano is on the pitch as well, the legendary French international, 70 times capped. As we said, it's quite an impressive bench. Califano in the veteran stage very much, and Quera still working hard there. He's mobile, he's strong, and he's quick. Seems to have it all. And there goes the final whistle. Well, Will Greenwood, and a well-deserved victory here for Gloucester tonight.
Very much so. A virtual error-free opening 30-minute blitz from Gloucester that Ulster simply couldn't live with. Ulster showed some heart, some determination. They stuck in it. Wallace probed. They managed to grab 2 tries back, but Gloucester shut the game out in the rain and the wind of the second half, and they've started their Heineken Cup campaign exceptionally well.
Well, there were 7 tries in the first half. We had no tries in the second half, just 3 points from Gloucester. But the Cherry and Whites, to be fair, were the favourites to win here this evening, and they've produced the victory that matters. And now they'll be galvanised for next week's match with the star-sprinkled Ospreys. The Cherry and Whites will feel after this crucial away win, perhaps they can now use this as a platform for qualification from the pool. And the Shedheads will be in raptures, I would think. And Dean Ryan quietly proud.
Oh, very much so. Whereas Ulster go away from home next week, and they know the way they are in the Magners League, a loss next week could almost spell the end of the season by the middle of November.
So it's a shocker at Ravenhill from an Ulster perspective, but great news for Gloucester, great news for England. Gloucester have come here and they have won convincingly, and now the Ospreys have to go to Kingsholm, and good luck to them.
Yes, what a game that promises to be. So Gloucester off to a bonus points win start. Perfect for them, and in fact it only took 22 minutes to get that bonus point, the second fastest in Heineken Cup history. The Ospreys in action tomorrow. They play Bourgoin. The Ospreys, if you're watching the rugby club, Jan Evans' tip to win the Heineken Cup. Now, Gloucester then off to a flyer. Plenty more to come in Sky Sports' biggest ever weekend of live rugby.